How's it going, everybody, and welcome to Just Nobody's Podcast. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm your host, Daniel.
And today we're doing a podcast.
Woo!
If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and also hit the like button. And comment what you guys want us to talk about next week, because we're taking your suggestions from last week and we're talking about it this week.
Yeah.
So this week, there's been a lot of crazy news, but I think the biggest story is Transformers, along with The Flash.
Yes.
A lot of reviews are coming out, non-spoiler reviews. We saw The Flash.
Mm-hmm.
We think it's a great movie.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I think it's really scary to talk about, give a proper review right now.
Yeah.
Just because we don't want to ruin it for anybody. It's one of those things, right, where this movie was very hard to say much about because you don't want to
Right.
ruin it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because you look at the stuff that's in the trailer and then you see the movie and you just definitely don't want to say anything about the movie.
What do you mean by that?
You don't want to give anything away.
Oh, like what you see in the trailer?
Okay, the stuff you see in the trailer compared
Yeah.
to what you see in the movie, you definitely don't want to accidentally spoil anything.
Go watch it, and we're going to stop talking about it. Moving on to Transformers. Basically, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen Transformers yet. There's a big reveal at the end of the movie that I feel like this is the point where you skip ahead of the podcast because it needs to be discussed. I'm sure we'll come up with some theories later, and I'll break it down for you guys another time. But for now, we'll just leave it at this. Transformers ends with G.I. Joe's confirming to be coming in the next one.
What?
It's so random. But it's not random. Okay, it's not random. I will do a deep dive later and talk about a theory behind it because I don't want to. I want to let people see the movie first before I tell you.
Yeah.
But basically, Hasbro, the toy company, owns G.I. Joe's along with Power Rangers and Transformers. So if you put all those together, they could have a cinematic universe that encompasses all of them. And there actually was a comic that actually broke down how Transformers and G.I. Joe's could had a crossover.
Oh, really?
So it is there. I'll talk about it another time. But for now, we'll leave it at that.
Okay. That's crazy, though. I didn't know there was a comic.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see Power Rangers down the road. Who knows?
I know. I mean, think about it, right? Power Rangers got the Megazords. Kind of like Transformers.
Yeah. That's true. I see it then. Can you imagine G.I. Joes and Power Rangers driving Transformers?
Yeah, it's going to be everything that as kids we've wished about, right? We saw we'd have the toys, we'd make our own cinematic universes playing with it. So now to have it on the big screen is going to be really cool.
It's also getting into some verses now, something we haven't done in a while. And for everybody who doesn't know, versus is when we put up two things against each other and we have to compare and see which one is better. And this week we are doing Nickelodeon shows.
Oh.
Yeah. iCarly versus Victorious. And I think I know your answer to this one.
I have to give it to iCarly.
Yeah. I think a lot of people would. But a lot of people really like Victorious. I'm shocked that has such a big fan base.
It does?
Yeah.
I guess it does. I mean, but I just think when you put the two against each other, you have to give it to iCarly. I think, I don't know, for our generation anyways, it seemed like that was the big show, the bigger show.
Yeah. But okay, you got to look at it too. iCarly's got the reboot, you know?
Yeah.
They kept going. Victorious is done.
Right.
Okay, so Rugrats versus SpongeBob.
Rugrats versus SpongeBob. I think this is an easy one too. I think
Really?
it's SpongeBob.
Oh, I thought you would have gone Rugrats. Yeah, I think it's SpongeBob too.
Yeah, I mean, I think SpongeBob, the rewatchability is higher.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen the SpongeBob episodes, some episodes 30 times.
Right. Yeah, it's such a mindless show.
Oh.
What it is. I mean, you could just keep it doesn't matter where you start the show from. You could just watch it from anywhere in the show.
Right. I
And
agree.
you know what I mean?
I just think that's a hot take when you said mindless show.
But but they did that study where SpongeBob is actually correlated with brainwashing not brainwashing, but slower development or something like that within kids.
Oh gosh, and we all watched. I mean, you and I watched SpongeBob, and we're here.
And we're here.
Just not very developed.
Yeah. Okay, Big Time Rush versus Zoe 101.
I think Big Time Rush.
Yeah, I definitely saw more Big Time Rush than I did Zoe 101.
Why did I not watch Zoe 101 growing up, really?
I don't know. I didn't really either.
I just wonder if it was just the time, we're too young for it.
I don't know. I feel like we weren't too young for it. I just, whenever I saw it come on, I would just change the channel. Whenever I saw that come on, I was like, I don't really know this show. Time for some Disney Channel.
Yeah, I agree. Or Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Okay, Drake and Josh versus iCarly.
Oh,
That's a hard one.
That is tough. Because, I really liked iCarly because I think Miranda Cosgrove was on Drake and Josh. And it kind of carried on that, dynamic of, shenanigans. Oh, man, that is tough. I think Drake and Josh, though, I think Drake and Josh wins.
Yeah, I think so too. Drake and Josh is such an iconic show. I mean, that was one of like if not the biggest show.
I would argue with you though that you can't say that. You can say that that's an iconic show, but they're both iconic shows.
They're both iconic.
And
Yeah.
I think there will be people that will pick iCarly over Drake and Josh.
Right, but those people also probably haven't seen enough of Drake and Josh.
You think so?
Yeah, because it came out so much later.
You're
iCarly
right.
came out so much later, so I feel like a lot of people didn't see a lot of Drake and Josh.
Yeah, that's fair. I think if you grew up watching Drake and Josh first before iCarly ever aired,
Yeah,
you're gonna pick Drake and Josh.
that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. But I feel like if you're born when both existed, you
Yeah.
might swing iCarly.
Yeah. Okay, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon
Okay.
versus Fairly Odd Parents.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle cartoon. Okay, are we talking about the one on Cartoon Network? Or are we talking about the one like from like the 90s where it was like
No, isn't there one on Nickelodeon?
oh, okay. Like the one now. Like the one that was like a couple years ago.
Yeah,
Sorry, what was the other option?
Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh, Fairly Odd Parents.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the only Ninja Turtle show that I really liked was
Uh-huh.
in the 90s, like when it was like
Oh. Yeah, you definitely like the older.
I feel like the rewatchability
Teenage.
on those episodes were
Mhm.
really good too.
That is true.
But if we're talking about the one that's a couple years ago, Fairly Odd Parents all the way. Not even a comparison.
That is true. Okay, the last one.
Okay.
Jimmy Neutron versus Danny Phantom.
Oh. Now, me personally,
I know what you're gonna pick. Can I guess what you're gonna pick? Jimmy Neutron.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you're like my brother.
But I mean, okay. Yeah, Jimmy Neutron just seems way better.
Yeah.
Overall, it seems like a better show.
I think so. I think at the time too, like we were so used to watching animated shows where it was like 2D, right?
Yeah.
And to see a show kind of have that 3D animation, it was really like entertaining, groundbreaking to see.
That is true.
Yeah. Definitely played a part. But I also think what also played a huge part in Jimmy Neutron being so good is that it came out with a movie. So we went to go see it in theaters.
Oh.
Remember that one?
Yeah. Okay.
That was a big moment.
Yeah. Comment what you guys think about that one, because I feel like that one could be pretty split. A lot of
Jimmy
people
Neutron?
like Danny Phantom. A lot of people cosplay Danny Phantom too.
Yeah. You really can't
don't
cosplay
see Jimmy Neutron. Jimmy Neutron's more of a Halloween costume. That's not like a cosplay thing.
I've never seen someone dress up as Jimmy Neutron. If this video gets 4,000 likes, you can comment who you want to see one of us to wear the
Yeah.
if it like the helmet.
The helmet. And thank you for watching Versus. But now we are moving on into Dumb Ways to Die, which is also something we haven't done in a really long time.
Yes.
So welcome to Dumb Ways to Die, where I talk about the craziest and stupidest ways people have died.
And you're about to see how stupid people can be.
Okay, let's start off with this first one. So this guy pretended to be blind to receive pity. Okay, like let's just start off with that. That is okay, we're off to a really bad start. So he decides to act blind in order to receive pity. So he walks around like with his eyes closed.
Yeah.
And to receive pity. So it makes it look like he can't see.
Okay, so he's walking around
Yeah.
and he's closing his eyes.
Right.
So technically he really can't see.
He really can't see.
Right,
But he
'cause
could
I-
choose to open his eyes if he
Right,
wants to.
right.
So he's walking around with his eyes closed.
Okay.
He falls into a construction zone, breaks his neck and dies.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he like fell into like this big ditch, I guess.
Wait, I have so many questions. Like, hear me out here.
Yeah.
Construction zone, construction workers, no
Right.
one stopped him?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, obviously not. And then what was his his reasoning behind wanting to pretend like he was blind?
He wanted to just receive pity from people.
But like I wonder like what was the backstory? Like did he just get broken up with? Like what? You know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean. Yeah.
How many years was he doing this for?
But yeah, I don't know what was going on with this guy. We'll move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys were working in a factory. It was two guys. Okay, they were messing around in a factory, and you know how in like factories they have like the really hard compressed air gun
Yes.
that like shoots air, like you could turn up the PSI and it's just like
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So what they were doing was like, you know how like they play pranks on each other where like they blow each other's pants off or something, right?
Uh-huh.
So they did that to each other, right? And then one guy said, you know what would be really funny? If I try to blow air up my butt. So what he did was he put the gun close to his butt. And
But not in it?
not in it,
Oh.
but aimed up it. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So he decided to shoot air up his butthole,
Yeah.
and it messed up his insides,
Uh-huh.
and he suffered from the injuries, and he died.
Dang. Like
He was done.
so he pulled down his pants though.
No, yeah, his pants were off.
Oh.
Like, everything was off.
At first I thought like it blew right through the pants. Like it was just like a
Yeah, so it says he pumped 6 bars of atmospheric pressure into his rear.
sounds like a lot.
I don't know what the thought process was there, but
To be
He did
fair
it.
though, I would always kind of wonder what
it
like
says he broke through his intestinal tract,
I
and
mean
he
makes
died
sense.
within minutes. Minutes. That's kind of crazy.
Well, it probably rearranged his guts.
Yeah.
If it blew through it could have like blew a hole through it.
Don't play with those things.
Or just don't stick it up your butt.
Well, he didn't even stick it up his butt. He just aimed it up his butt.
He got pretty darn close though.
He aimed it though. It wasn't up his butt.
No. But trust me though, he had to get pretty close.
No, just imagine if it was up his butt though. That would have been
no, his
way
head probably
different.
would have flew off.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one. This guy spotted a black bear in the wild.
Nice.
Off to a pretty bad start. You kind of could see where this is going. His first instinct wasn't to stand still and let it kind of pass by. It wasn't to run out of the way. It wasn't to get in the car and drive away. It was to let me go up to it and take a selfie with it.
Nice. That's gonna go viral. That
Yeah.
photo.
Unfortunately, he didn't even get the photo. He got just close enough for the bear to grab him and kill him.
Nice.
So, not even got the picture. Didn't get the picture. Okay, all he did was die. Get
Dang.
killed by the bear. That's why you don't take pictures with wild animals. Especially if you don't go up to them and take pictures of wild animals.
I'm assuming a black bear is big, right? I mean, they're huge, aren't they?
Yeah. Like, why would you even think to go up to a bear of that size?
I'm
Why-
gonna Google
Yeah.
right now the average size of a black bear.
Yeah, do that. Because I'm sure it is ginormous.
Let's see. Average size of a black bear is wow. Adult male bears weigh around 400 pounds
400 pounds.
and standing 5 to 7 feet tall when standing upright.
Just think about it. 400 pounds, 7-foot bear, and you think I'm going to go take a selfie with it. You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, not very smart.
That is not smart at all.
That's why he's on Dumb Ways to Die.
Okay, and now for the last one. This is why I'm putting out a disclaimer, okay? This is why you should never smoke. Okay?
Smoke.
Don't smoke cigarettes.
Okay.
Okay? So this lady was on one of those buses that have like 2 levels. You know, I don't forget what they're
Like
called.
a double deck bus.
Yeah. So she was riding on one of those, and it was kind of like a tour. So it's a long ride,
Yeah.
but there's no smoking on this bus.
Okay.
But she's so addicted to smoking that she needed it. She had to take a smoke. Okay.
The nicotine just
nicotine.
got a hold of her.
Yeah. So what
Don't
she
smoke,
decided
kids.
to do was go to the door of the bus, like the entrance, just start banging on it to annoy the driver to open it. Okay. So what she does is she rips the door open,
Okay.
and the bus is moving.
Rips the door open of what?
The bus.
Oh,
the
like-
entrance.
Oh, yeah,
You know what I
okay.
mean? Like the bus driver. Has
Right,
to,
right.
Yeah. So she ripped it open, and she decides to try to hang out of the bus and take a smoke. Hanging out of the bus. Okay?
So she's like trying to hang out so she could smoke without being inside.
right. So like she's like trying not to break the rules of being in the bus, so she decides to lean out of the bus and
Right.
smoke.
She's trying to be considerate,
Considerate, I guess. Yeah. Not very smart.
but considerate.
Falls out of the bus, take a couple rolls on the street, and dies.
You know what?
That
Dang.
is not smart.
That's just not smart.
And thank you for watching Dumb Ways to Die.
Okay, so we're back at the podcast. We had a little hiccup. I forgot we had a haircut planned, and we had to stop the recording like mid-session. So we're back now. Our hair is a little shorter.
Yes. Does it look good?
So that's why we are. Things are a little different all of a sudden.
We had to look good for this coming week. This coming week, we got a lot of stuff to do.
I don't know about looking good, but I just need to get my hair cut.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so moving on. There's still things that need to be addressed about Across the Spider-Verse. And as the weeks go by, there's still new Easter eggs. There's still new theories. There's many surprises that I didn't see like the first time around. And I've been able to see the movie now like 3 times.
Yeah.
And you've seen it how many times?
I've seen it about 3 or 4. I think
Yeah.
4.
It's amazing how many Easter eggs are in this film. It's amazing how many things are still unanswered.
It's like one of those movies you have to watch, like those videos. Watch this in 0.25 speed.
So do you know the crazy hidden detail about Spider-Punk from Across the Spider-Verse?
Okay, Spider-Punk was awesome.
So we see at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, that Gwen actually receives a new dimension traveling watch that allows her to go to see Miles because hers was deactivated.
Right, Hobie gave her a new one.
Exactly. So earlier in the movie, we see how Spider-Punk is talking to Miles, and he asks Miles, "What are you doing here?" And Miles tells him, "I'm here to make a watch." And then Miles asks Spider-Punk, "What are you doing here?" And then Spider-Punk tells him, "I'm here to watch over my drummer." And we know that Gwen Stacy is a drummer in a band. But then Spider-Punk tells Miles, "Just make your own watch." And then Miles kind of like laughs it off. But then Spider-Punk slowly starts taking a bunch of different objects throughout the whole facility. And in turn, he's actually stealing parts to make a dimension traveling watch. And that's what he was doing the whole time. And at the end of the movie, we see that he's the one that gives Gwen the watch. But it all started because he was stealing the parts because he knew he had to help Gwen way back in the beginning of the movie.
Wait, I didn't realize he was actually stealing stuff to build the watch.
It happened so subtly that I just thought he was like just, stealing a couple things here and there.
Yeah.
But it ends up making a lot of sense that he was stealing parts for the watch.
Oh, because I remember the scene like vaguely that he was stealing stuff from the facility. I didn't know it was for the watch though.
Yeah.
So he knew he was gonna have to help Gwen.
Yeah, and I thought it was kind of clever too, like how he was saying that he's trying to look out for his drummer.
Yeah.
Because we see early in the movie, right, that Gwen plays the drums.
Right.
And whenever Gwen visits him, they probably jam or something.
Yeah, that's probably what she like always tells Miles is like, it's not like what you think.
Right,
with her and Hobie. Yeah.
They're just playing music.
Yeah.
So there's a dark Across the Spider-Verse theory that Gwen will actually die in the next movie, Beyond the Spider-Verse.
What makes you think that?
So in the beginning of the movie, when Miles is talking to Gwen on the rooftop, Gwen tells Miles that in every universe, Gwen Stacy falls for her Spider-Man. And in every other universe, it doesn't work out. Now, this is where it gets dark. It doesn't work out does not mean fail to fall in love. It actually means Gwen's death.
There's no way they would let her die.
So think about this. In Andrew Garfield's universe, we see Gwen Stacy die. And in Spectacular Spider-Man the cartoon, there were plans to actually have Gwen Stacy die in the future. And in the comics, the night Gwen Stacy died, we actually see Gwen Stacy doesn't only fall in love with Spider-Man, but she actually almost always dies. And in Across the Spider-Verse, we see how Gwen's story is slowly coming to a close. As she's making amends with her dad, she's coming to terms with her life. Everything is coming to an end, like the hero's journey. Her story is practically complete.
But there is a lot of comics where Spider-Gwen does live.
Yeah, I mean, there is some comics where she lives. In general, I think it's safe to say that Gwen Stacy, more often than not, will die.
Okay, if they kill this Spider-Gwen, I'm gonna be livid.
I think if they kill her off, though, it would be like one of the worst. I shouldn't say worst. It's one of the most emotional deaths to ever be seen on camera.
Oh, 100%.
Because just like the emotional connection, the audience has with her,
Yeah.
it would be like catastrophic.
No, definitely.
Too catastrophic where it put like people in depression and it just like would be so bad for society.
I think I would be like really sad.
I think it's almost like when you think about Toy Story, if like Woody or Buzz dies,
Yes.
it's
like that.
It is kind of like that.
Yeah, it's like the dynamic duo, like one of them dies.
Yeah, it would just be too much for the world to handle, and I think it would be like really, I guess, like it would be really good for the story for Miles to see how he prevails through that, but I don't know how he would recover from that.
That'd be too much. Too much. He's already like lost her, never thought he'd see her again. Then he got her back, and then she's gonna die. That's too much.
If they do kill her off, though, it almost needs to be a time jump in the movie because you need to like allow Miles to grieve, and it would not be believable if he sees her die and then works through that issue in a 2-hour movie.
Yeah.
And then becomes the hero at the end.
Right. That wouldn't make sense.
Okay, so moving on, I want to talk about something a little bit different than Spider-Verse. I want to talk about a friend of ours named Jared. It's Jermaine on TikTok.
Jared.
He is one of the most talented people when it comes to music. He can listen to a song, tell you where the song originated from, along with all the sounds that may have been inspired or taken from another song. So he could be a music lawyer, really.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's this sound frequency that you can play on your phone that will actually make your phone super cold.
What are you talking about?
Okay, so I'm going to play the sound on this phone, and I'm going to let you hold it, and then I'm going to play the sound for all the people watching this video, and you guys can all feel how cold your phone gets. Okay, so I'm going to play it now. Okay, so do you feel like the back of your phone, it's like super cold,
The
right?
back of the phone is really cold.
So how this works is that the sound that is playing from the phone, it sounds just like an air conditioning unit where you feel the same vibration. It actually tricks your brain into thinking that it's actually really cold, but really it's not. But you feel like it's super cold.
That's kind of scary because the phone was actually getting cold. Like I felt it getting cold in my hand.
Yeah, it's amazing how it works. It kind of shows you how like the whole psychology of people's brains and how when you think a certain thing without even knowing you're thinking it, the results are what you think.
Yeah, it's so weird. So moving on to some crazy things I saw this week. I've talked about AI the past few weeks and like how it could cast movies and everything, cast shows. But there's also some other crazy things that AI is doing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think for the most part, the whole world knows now that AI doesn't just do movie castings. It does pretty much. It could destroy the world, essentially.
So a woman in New York has married an AI-generated man and says that he's the perfect man for her.
Like, how do you marry AI?
Okay, so this mother of two was on a dating site and she matched with a man named Aaron, but Aaron actually ended up being an AI chatbot and is actually based off a character in Attack on Titan.
Wait, so this guy's based on Aaron Yeager from Attack on Titan.
Yeah, so apparently Aaron's favorite color is apricot. He likes indie music and he's a medical professional. And she said the main reason she fell in love with him is because he doesn't have an attitude or an ego and he doesn't come with all the baggage that other men come with. And she also said she likes it because she's in complete control.
I mean, if she's happy, good for her.
That is scary though.
It is. I mean, I don't know how I guess emotionally,
Yeah.
you can feel that connection.
Right.
But it is scary that AI knows how to have that emotional connection. Or at least fake it, right? Or at least fake that connection.
Exactly.
I guess it's just going to become the norm. People are going to start falling in love with computers.
Yeah, but going back to Spider-Man, there's a crazy hidden detail in Across the Spider-Verse that shows that Spider-Man 2099 will be stronger in Beyond the Spider-Verse. Because when Miles and Gwen are going through the Spider Society to meet with Miguel, you could actually see a machine in the background, and the machine is actually building a suit. But the suit it's building is actually Spider-Man 2099's upgraded white and red suit.
They actually showed that in the movie?
Yeah, and in the credit scene, you could see 2099 swinging in the red and blue suit, but then it quickly changes to the white and red suit. And this suit is supposed to be more durable and more powerful because we see Miles literally beat 2099 by absorbing his suit's energy and firing it back at him. So maybe Miguel will learn to use the new suit.
He definitely needs to make an upgrade, right? Because if Miles was able to beat him, I mean, what's stopping Miles from beating him again with the same technology, right?
Exactly, and Miles doesn't have any technology. Think about that. He just used his powers to beat him. That's it.
To be fair, though, Miles did discover a new power, right? By absorbing energy.
Yeah, I guess, in a way.
So I guess maybe Miguel didn't foresee that happening.
Yeah, and I also know there's been a lot of talks about a live action Miles Morales.
I mean, not only has there been talks, right? It's been confirmed that Amy Pascal said that we are getting a live action Miles Morales.
Yeah, so these are some people's top 3 choices to play a live action Miles. So 1, Caleb McLaughlin. 2, Miles Brown. And 3, could possibly be Shamik Moore.
I do feel like Miles Brown is the best fit.
Yeah, and some of the top choices online for a live-action Gwen Stacy is 1, Emma Myers. 2 would be Millie Alcock. And 3 would be Haley Steinfeld. Because both Haley and Shamik both said that they would play a live-action counterpart.
I have seen fan art of Haley Steinfeld as Gwen Stacy, like, in live action, and I feel like it fits.
Dude, if they do that, that would be insane.
I mean, why not? Why not? It seems like Haley Steinfeld's, not only is she a talented actress, she voices Gwen. She also has a huge following, right? Like, people would love to see her because she's able to, fill theaters.
Yeah, but moving on, there's also some other crazy news that I saw this week. So this is why you shouldn't let kids play games on their phone.
What's so bad about playing games on your phone?
So there's this 13-year-old girl that loves to play phone games, and her teacher told her mom that she's concerned that she might be addicted because the girl's always getting in trouble for using her phone in class. But what's crazy is the girl is so addicted to phone games, she stole $64,000 from her parents to spend it on these games.
How did she steal $64,000 that her parents not know?
So the girl was so smart, she would hide the transactions and hide the billing info from her parents. Like, if it came in the mail, she would hide it. So her parents didn't know it was happening. And she literally wiped the entire family savings account, and there was only 7 cents left.
Candy Crush is addicting.
$64,000 though.
I don't know how you spend $64,000.
$64,000.
Did they? I just wonder, right? If you even look at the game, like in-app purchases, how you can, like, what is the benefit when you spend $64,000 in a mobile game,
Right.
Like, what is the return, like, in terms of, does your character get stronger? Like, do you get more abilities, or
You know what would be so stupid if it was all cosmetics.
all cosmetics?
$64,000 on cosmetics.
Could you imagine having $64,000 in Fortnite skins?
That is so insane to think about.
Can you actually, let's think about this. For the whole history of Fortnite,
Yeah.
what are we talking, like 3 years? It's been around 4 years?
2017, late 2017.
So we're thinking 6 years then.
Yeah.
So for 6 years, out of all the skins, weekly skins that came out, do you think you could spend 64,000, or is it over 64,000? Be honest with me.
I feel like you could go over.
Okay, so 64,000 probably gets you about 4 years worth of skins, though, right? Every single one that was released.
Yeah. I guess that would be a safe assumption. Like, you bought every emote, every skin, every pickaxe.
Yeah.
I think it could definitely come close to that.
So
if not more.
Person played a mobile game that's not Fortnite and spent $64,000 on it.
This girl did it all in 4 months. $64,000 in 4 months.
Yeah, that is insane. Like, how does her parents not, like, I get it. She was trying to hide it.
Yeah.
But how are you not missing $64,000?
Because, okay, this is what I think. It was the savings account. So when you look at a savings account, right?
Yeah.
That's like money you're not touching.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the parents probably were like, it's our savings account. We're not going to touch it. No one should be touching it.
I know, but you know how it goes. Like, I won't say what bank we use,
Yeah.
right? Like, when you look at statements, right, at a bank,
Yeah.
you know, even if you're checking your checkings,
Right.
your saving account is also attached to it, too. So, like, you see that number changing.
Yeah, I guess. But I guess the girl was like hiding the mail.
That is unbelievable. I question the parents on this.
Yeah.
I have heard, okay, I don't know how true this is, but I think you can get a certain amount of money back. Like, there are cases where kids have spent like $20,000 or $15,000. And I think you can technically say you didn't purchase it.
Oh, and like give it all back.
Because say like the parent didn't authorize the purchase.
Yeah.
Because they ask you when you call a credit card company, did you authorize this purchase? And then you say, well, no. Like, they honestly didn't.
Right.
So I wonder in this case when it's $64,000, how much do you get back, or if you don't get any of it back?
I don't know if they got it back.
Gosh, how sad.
I know.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm like laughing here because I'm like, so the number's astronomical, but
Yeah.
when you said they're left with 7 cents,
7 cents in the account.
that is so sad.
Yeah. And this is the family savings account.
Yeah.
Okay, and she left 7 cents in there. Wow. $64,000 down the drain on a mobile game.
And what's scary too is like she probably didn't know like how much money they had, right?
Right. She probably had like kids, right? They don't aren't aware of money.
Well, especially when you look at like iTunes or like the App Store, right? When you're
Yeah.
buying things,
Right.
it doesn't say like remaining balance left in your account, right?
Right.
It's just charging the credit card, constantly charging the credit card, charging the credit
Yeah.
card. And if you don't have access to the bank account, right, or bank statements, you don't know how much you're
You
spending.
would not know. All you see is the purchase successfully.
Yeah, and the in-app currency going way up.
Oh my god.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this podcast, listening to the podcast. If you're new to the channel, please smash that subscribe button, hit the like button. If this video gets 3,000 likes, we will be giving away a hot toy of your choice. So make sure you comment what you guys want us to talk about. Let us know some of your like favorite stories or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And we'll see you guys tomorrow on TikTok, and we'll see you guys next Sunday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube.
We'll see you on the TikTok.
God bless you guys. See ya.
Love ya.